All right. Well, it's a slow Thursday, so I figured why wait till tomorrow when you can do something today? So, this is a update, I guess, on Chris Rollins drone. And just to give you guys a heads up as to what I've done up to date, is this really annoying arm that was broken, I mean, like really crushed. It was making it very difficult to put the drone back in the box, and so I just removed it. And when you desoldered it, not only did I have the three wires for the motors, but I also had these two extremely tiny wires for the, I guess it's part of the antenna, because there's another antenna wire here that clips to the base, but these two went to the board and I had to desolder them. Not looking forward to resoldering those teeny tiny connections again, but when in Rome. So that particular item was taken off. Of course, I've got the top piece off. This was pretty severely damaged, but this back component here is in really good shape. I don't see any damage to it, so once I get a chance to get a new top, I'll disconnect this and move it to the other, which I believe this is part of the GPS, possibly. I'd have to go back and look again. But that's again part of what helps it determine where it's at. As for the drone itself, I've of course removed the base piece to check the rest of the board. The main logic board is not damaged. There's no cracks or breaks or bends or tears in the board as far as I can tell. So aside from needing a new base piece and a new body, I can remount this board, and then once I get the components I need, I can start resoldering. As for the front of the drone, this is where about 90% of the damage was. This is what used to be where the gimbal was. This was the power board. This was the connector that went to the compass in the front, which of course is disconnected, and you can't really resolder this. And I don't really want to. What I'm going to do is desolder it from the board here and desolder the power from the board here, and just buy a new one of these and a new compass board and just replace those altogether. The forward vision sensors, the cables for that have torn and ripped off, so I'm going to have to get a new forward visioning system, which is this bar and the cables to reconnect. As for the other arms, of course there's this one that has the chunk taken out of it, but the motor itself is pretty good. I mean, it feels solid. So I'm going to disconnect the other three arms and go ahead and take them off. This one I will take the motor off of it. The other two arms I'll probably keep as spares for the time being. My intention is to get 4 brand new arms, a new body, the three layers of the body, and then just start transitioning parts over. What I will do is give you guys sort of a synopsis on what the parts run for this thing, which is actually pretty amazing. So let me grab the gimbal here and I'll bring you over here. So this is just a quick pass, and this is only looking at eBay. This isn't looking at any other resellers. So this is sort of a rough guess, but the gimbal is 146, and the gimbal includes not only the upper part and the dampeners, but also the gimbal. The upper shell is $9. The upper front arm is $30. The cooling fan is $15, which sits just behind the gimbal in the frame. The power sits above that. Another arm is $30. Again, one of the front arms is $32. Of course, it's got the antenna and it's got the arm for the bar. The power board, this company sells not only the compass, but the power board as well. They said they do a ESC board for the flight controller, but it's out of stock, so I'm not worried about that. But they're charging $9.11 for each one of the two boards, which isn't really too bad. The bottom shell, which is all metal, this is the heat sink basically that helps displace a lot of the heat from the board. That's $19. I expected that to be a little bit higher. And of course, the other arm for the front is also $32. If I wanted to get the original compass module, this company has it for $9.59. I don't really know if I'd go with that. I might just get the two from this company. And the last piece is the main body, the center of the body, and that's $12.39. So overall, the body itself totals up to, I don't know what, $9, $19, $12. So maybe $30, $40 for the whole body. I'm looking at $60 and change for the rear arms and $64 and change for the front arms, and that includes the motor and the antenna and everything, which is pretty impressive. The cooling fan and the gimbal is what's going to be the thing that kills me. I've seen various prices for the gimbal. The cheaper ones don't have the dampener and the control board at the top, which of course I need. So this one seems to be the best deal that I've been able to find so far. I'm still digging, and obviously I'm way far away from ever actually ordering any parts or even thinking about buying any parts for this drone, because, you know, I wish I was made of money. I've been trying to get myself made of money, but the wishes aren't coming true. Anyway, so that being said, the drone itself, as you can tell, I've done some work on it. I know now what is needed for it. Obviously, with this drone, I don't know if any of it works. This is one of those things where it's going to be a hit or miss. With Ken's drone, I knew that it flew, so I knew that the main board and the engines and the motors and everything were all good. So from that perspective, that was great. But for this one, I have no idea if it even works. So I may put all these pieces in a new body and resolder it all together, and it may not even function. So there's a risk to this one, obviously. But, my goal is to make it work. So even if it fails or if it doesn't function, I will continue to apply parts to it until it does. Because just like Ken's drone, this one that Chris Rollins had has done some amazing things. It's done some things that no other drone ever did. And so that being part of the reason why it should be restored and brought back to life. So more to follow on this one. Like I said, I'm not really expecting to do a lot of work on this one this year. This was probably going to be a project for 2019. So, starting in January, I might start trying to drum up some support to bring this one back to life, because one, I want to see it fly, obviously, but two, there's that little kid in me that has always wanted a Mavic Pro, and so I've this one I'm really anxious to bring back. I like the Mavic 2s and all, but I just don't have that kind of money. Being able to bring this one back with some of the prices that I'm seeing on the parts, this is shy of the gimbal. Everything else is what, maybe $150, $200 max. That's not bad, for just the parts. So that being said, that's the status update I have for the Rollins Bird at this time. Feel free to reply, add comments. I know that James Wallace and some others have sent me some components and parts for the Mavic that they had lying around. One of the ones that I got that I thought was kind of cool, if I can dig it up here, James Wallace sent me one of these gimbal covers. Of course, I don't have a gimbal, so it's nice to have. But I like this one because it has the stabilizer arms inside of it, so that when you put it on, it keeps the gimbal stable. And I've seen a lot of reviews on this one that were really positive. So I really thank him for sending this to me, because that's going to be very valuable in the future. And obviously, without some of the main components, I don't have a charger, I don't have a battery. I do have the controller, and I've got a spare set of blades for it. So once I do get the parts put together and can apply some power to it, we'll be able to see what on this drone works and what on this drone doesn't work. So kind of look forward to this one. This one is going to probably be 1 billion times harder to do than Ken's. Ken's drone, I have to admit, the Phantom 4 was a very easy drone to work on. I enjoyed working on it. I love the work that's been put into it so far. It looks great. It flies beautifully. Just trying to fight to get the right gimbal parts that we need for it. This one, jeez, I mean, this is going to be, if I get this one fixed, this one I will truly cherish, being able to repair this, because you can see the frame is just, it's shattered. I mean, this thing took an amazing hit. I really am surprised at how well this thing handled flying out of a car at 70 miles an hour and then getting run over by another vehicle. I mean, I'm amazed. So anyway, that's the end of this update. I'm going to go pack her back up and let her sit for a little bit until I'm ready to start working on her. As always, if anybody has a wrecked Mavic or parts for a Mavic, or if you have a wrecked one that has good body pieces on it that you want to donate, by all means, I'm accepting any and all donations for this one. If you have any stuff lying around for a Mavic that you don't need anymore, by all means, consider sharing. I appreciate any and all additions to bringing this one back to life. It's going to be on a shoestring budget, but I'm going to get her back to flying condition. So for those of you that chimed in, thank you very much. I appreciate you watching. For those of you that catch the stream later, I appreciate you guys taking the time to look and see what the status is of the Rollins bird. So have a great weekend to all, and thank you very much for listening. Bye.